Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Alright, here I am with another X-Men review. With a review of the Wolverine. Yeah, this was kind of like a sort of an unusual kind of turn for the X-Men movies. I mean, this like just has a really different story. It's basically apart from the all the other movies. With the X-Men Origins Wolverine movie, as that was kind of like a prequel to the previous X-Men movies, explain the origins of Wolverine. With this movie, this is just basically about Wolverine's life following the events of the third movie. Yeah, this is just kind of just showing what his life is now like ever since like what happened in the third movie with Jean Grey dying and all of the events that happened. Yeah, yeah, this was kind of like an unusual but kind of interesting twist. Yeah, I mean, there's not really like anything from this movie that is really in connection with the events of the previous movies. Yeah, I mean, this movie is just kind of like a standalone story for Wolverine. You know, I mean, there's nothing like really, like I said, that's really in any relation of the previous films. Aside from like he does continue to have hallucinations from Jean Grey throughout the movie, and yeah, that's probably like the only thing that carries over to this film from the previous film. Yeah, everything else is just like really different in this movie. Yeah, there's still Hugh Jackman still reprises his role as Wolverine in this movie. Well, yeah, there are a lot of like Japanese or Asian actors in this movie also. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna like say their names because I really don't know how to pronounce them, and I don't want to like really give bad mispronunciations for them. But yeah, there's a lot of Asian actors in this movie. Yeah, and like I said, it's a kind of interesting story that this movie is telling. Yeah, I would probably say I like it just about as much as the Wolverine Origins movie. Yeah, I really don't find this to be like one of the best X-Men movies, but yeah, it's still like a interesting kind of twist on the just for the story of this movie. Yeah, I would probably give this movie 3.25 stars out of 4. Yeah, uh, just 3.25 stars out of 4, and like I said, just kind of an unusual kind of turn for them, but also an interesting story for this. Alright, so yeah, let me just get right into it. I'm probably just gonna like zoom through this real quickly because I really don't have too much to say about it. Alright, so the movie opens up in 1945 as Logan, or Wolverine. He's being held in a Japanese POW camp, and he ends up rescuing an officer during an atomic bombing of Nagasaki, and he ends up shielding the officer from from the blast of the bomb. And he's now living his life as a hermit, and as I said, he is having the hallucination from Jean Grey. And he's eventually found by a mutant that is able to foresee people's deaths named Yukio. And he's on behalf of Yoshida, who's a CEO for Zaibatsu for technology. And Yukio tells Logan, and Yoshida wants Logan to come to Japan to repay his life debt. And when he arrives in Tokyo, he meets Yoshida's son Shinigami and his granddaughter Mar- or Mariko. Yeah, sorry. Like I said, these are like kind of Asian names, so I don't really know how to pronounce them. And it shows that Yoshida is actually dying of cancer, and he is trying to get Logan to actually transfer his healing abilities over to him inside his body to save his life. But it would also end up alleviating Logan's almost immortality. And Logan sees that as a curse, and so he refuses is Yoshida's offer. And yeah, he's planning on leaving the following day, but as he's having another hallucination of Jean, Dr. Green, Yoshida's physician, and aka Viper, she ends up like placing something in Logan's body, but he ends up just dismissing it because he feels it was just a dream. And then Yoshida is pronounced dead the next morning, and Logan attends the funeral. And during the funeral, there are Yakuza gangsters that are attacking, and they're trying to kidnap Mariko, but her and Logan are both able to escape. And Logan ends up being shot, and he's realizing that his wounds aren't healing as quickly as they should. And yeah, then eventually him and Mariko end up hiding in a love hotel. Yeah, and yeah, the movie really just seems to have like a lot of filler in it too. Yeah, something I didn't mention earlier. Yeah, it does kind of have like a lot of filler in this movie. But yeah, eventually Harada, one of Yoshida's bodyguards, meets Dr. Green, and after she showed him her mutant powers, she then makes Harada find Logan and Mariko. You know? And yeah, Logan and Mariko end up like falling in love with each other throughout this movie. And later on, Yukio ends up having a vision of Logan actually dying, and she tries to warn him, but Mariko ends up being captured by the Yakuza gangsters. And eventually Yukio and Logan end up going to find her, or by questioning Mariko's fiance Mori, and as they're interrogating him, and Mori ends up telling them that he's actually conspiring with Shinigami to have Mariko killed, since she was left in control of the company instead of Shinigami. And yeah, Mariko is then brought over to Shinigami, and where like ninjas that are actually led by Harada are then taking her away. And then Logan and Yukio eventually arrive, and Wolverine, or Logan, and then is able to find that the reason that his healing powers are working as well as they should is because there's actually a robotic parasite that's actually attached to his heart that's affecting his healing ability. So he ends up cutting itself open and tries to remove the device. And as he's trying to remove it, Shinigami and attacks, and Yukio is able to hold him off to give Logan enough time to actually remove the parasite and recover. And then Logan then fights with Mariko. I mean, no, not Mariko, Shingen, and eventually kills him. And then Logan is able to track down Mariko, down to the village that Yoshida was born in. But he ends up being captured by the ninjas, and he gets placed in a machine by Dr. Green, and then she tells Logan her plans and to actually remove his healing factor. And then she shows him the Silver Samurai, which is just a Japanese armored or electromechanical suit, and it also has swords from adamantium. And Mariko is able to escape from Harada, and he also feels that Harada is actually acting for Mariko's interest, and then she's able to save Logan and free him from the machine. And then Harada then also helps Logan and Mariko also after he sees what he's doing. And Yukio also arrives, and she ends up killing Dr. Green. And Logan is fighting the Silver Samurai, and the Silver Samurai actually ends up severing Logan's adamantium claws. And then eventually the Silver Samurai ends up killing Harada. And it's also the Silver Samurai is also trying to extract Logan's healing abilities, and then he's revealed that the Silver Samurai is still Yoshida and he is still alive. And he starts to become younger after he starts extracting Logan's powers. But then Mariko then stabbed Yoshida with the Logan Silver Claws. Then Logan ends up fighting back at Yoshida, and then he's able to regenerate his bone claws, and he's able to kill Yoshida. And then Logan just ended up collapsing, and then he had his last hallucination of Jean, and he just finally decided to let go of Jean. And Mariko is then appointed the CEO of Yoshida Industries, and then she says goodbye to Logan as he's leaving Japan. And then Yukio is also telling Logan that she's staying with him as his bodyguard. And then it just shows them leaving, and then it cuts to credits. And then during the credits, as Logan returns back home 2 years later, it then shows him being approached by Eric and Professor Xavier, and they're still played by Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart. And Logan was shocked to see Professor Xavier still alive after he thought he was dead after what happened in the third movie. And Eric or Magneto and Professor Xavier then tell Logan about a new threat to the mutant race. And then then the movie just ended like that. And so that then carries over to the next film, X-Men Days of Future Past, which is coming up next. So stay tuned for that. Alright, but like I said, 3.25 stars out of 4. Like I said, kind of an unusual but interesting story to tell. All about Wolverine's life following the events of the third movie. And this, I haven't said this yet. This was the kind of sequel that I was wanting to, not really see, but I wanted to happen. Not really with this story, but just to finally follow the event that a sequel that takes place after the events of the third movie. So yeah, I'm glad that they finally decided to make one with this movie. And yeah, the other one technically is two. Yeah, Days of Future Past also does follow the events, but it also, yeah, it goes back in time to follow the events of First Class also. So yeah, kind of a sequel to in two different time periods. But yeah, I'll talk about that coming up next. But yeah, anyway, alright, that does it for my review of the Wolverine. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.